everyone, Ment here. Welcome to this next lesson, taking a look at some classic honky-tonk intros from some of my favorite records where I learned a lot of these great turnarounds. This is all in support of my new course release, Music Theory for the Country Guitarist. If you're interested in learning how the cage system applies all across the neck to the pentatonic positionings, as well as different double stops, please check out that course. It's going to put all of that in application to country intros, turnarounds, and outros. And as we progress in this course series, on top of that into full-length solos, using our theory as a way to move across the fretboard. So that will be in the description below. Please check that out. Coming off of our last lesson, I'd like to take a look at some more Lloyd Green ideas and twist them around and help develop some country intros and outros for you. So we're going to be in the key of A for this one. We're going to use that kind of intro I started with, and I'll play it again here for you, and we're going to expand on it and kind of talk about what's going on. So what we have here, it's a 1 to the 4 chord, and then a 1, 5, 1, 1. So if we're going to map this out, it would be 2 bars of A to the A7, 2 bars of D, and then we would go A, E, A. So a little under tempo, we would have. All right, so what we're starting with is just kind of basic A pentatonics, working out of our A chord shape here and here. So we're just working E, E, A, sliding up from our A to our C sharp, the third. So we have, and then we're gonna play the 5th and the 6th, and then go right back down. So we have this. And then I want to set up the D chord with an A7. So if we're just playing like rhythm guitar, it's the same as going from A, take off that A on the 3rd string 2nd fret, and playing an A7. So we're visualizing that open and now incorporating it into our line. So we have this. Right? So I'm just moving down from A to G. You can do that chromatically, or kind of bounce between A, E, A, off to the G. But it's about where we're going. That's what we're trying to target, so that G. So we have over the A chord, between these 2 A positions. Now we're resolving to the D, the 4 chord. So we have our D chord here. This is a C chord shape. I'm going to come up and play this D pentatonic lick. So I'm playing A up to B, D, B, E, B, D, E, D. So I'm playing around with the 5th, 6th, 1st, and 2nd of the D. Some idea like that. So that's going to combine our A to D chord. So we have. All right, those are our basic ideas. So that is just kind of highlighting some classic kind of country intro territory. And then we're going to move up and now really quote some Lloyd Green with what we did last week to fill out this kind of extended intro. So what we're going to do is come up to our A chord here. So this is just like taking our tonics, right? Or a chord shape out of the E shape here and moving it all the way up to, what was that? The 17th and 19th frets. So we have this lick. We're going to go. All I'm playing here is 5th, 6th, 1st, bend the 2nd up, give it some wild vibrato, bring it down to the 1. And then I'm going to do a half step bend here on the F sharp to G, give it wild vibrato, and then bring it right back down. Now I'm going to drop that down an octave and play B to A. And then, so I'm grabbing that high E on the 17th fret, pre-bending my B up to a C sharp and releasing. So that phrase, right, this is over a 15-11. Resolving there. And then last week we talked about this lick that you'd close a lot of these kind of phrases with that sounds like this. Right? You can do an octave lower. Sometimes I'll do it here. But this one I did instead. We'll do a lot of double stops, not double stops as in two notes, but just kind of like dot, dot, quarter notes there. So we're just playing A, F sharp, E, pre-bend, release with that double stop. All right. So that's kind of the framework we're working from. So all together, a little slow, we have. Okay. So that is like a full intro, right? When I'm playing that, I'm thinking more along the guitar, kind of a guitar position with those first two chords, and then I'm thinking more like a steel guitarist in the second two chords, the A, E, A, right? I'm kind of putting on two different hats and trying to make that entire intro sound like I have a whole band behind me, right? Like they do on those classic records of the guitar and the steel trading off. So what we can kind of do now to just get a little more mileage out of this is turn it into some double stop ideas. So if I was playing this chord, and basically my idea here is I'm going from A to C sharp, then I'm working back down to that flat 7, the G, right, to set up my D chord. So I could go as a harmony, right, using double stops. It sounds more steel guitar-like. And all I'm doing here is I'm playing E and C sharp, D and B, C sharp and A, and then dropping down to my A7, that flat 7 there, the G. So I have. And then I could now come in to my double stops here. Right, I'm just playing kind of a D idea out of this D chord here. It's like an A shape. And I'll get more into the kind of the finger picking stuff with the suspended sounds at a later live stream. But something simple like that, where you're just playing the D chord up to the suspended, right? I cover all of this in the Music Theory for the Country Guitarist course. Or you could play something down here where you're doing. Or I'm adding in that suspended sound there, adding in the E there, and bringing it down. So options, right? You could play around with a few. Or. So now the first part is really sounding like a steel guitar. And then the second part kind of flip-flops and it sounds more like a lead electric guitar. And that's what I think Lloyd Green's really great at is he sounds, I think, more like an electric guitarist than a steel guitarist. But really, he's the one who's coming up with all of these great licks that we associate more with like the country guitar, but he's doing it all on steel. So by kind of flip-flopping it, you have now a lot of mileage to use, right, between these different positions and these different sounds. So if we kind of combine it, maybe take an idea here. And now you have a full intro, which you could use as the template for the beginning of a solo. So again, the idea here is to take these single note pentatonic ideas, get that lead guitar country sound down with them, and then expand on them into the double stops, trying to emulate more of kind of the lush sounds of the pedal steel guitar, using those, and then incorporating them into intros, turnarounds, and outros. And as I said, as we progress through this series, we'll look at it in a more broader context of a guitar solo. So again, check out Jukebox Charlie. It's got all of these great licks in it. It's my favorite Johnny Paycheck record. The link will be in the description below. And what we'll do in next week's lesson is take a look at one of my favorite Merle Haggard records. That again, he's really digging into a lot of sounds we associate with the electric guitar now, but they all started on the steel. So we'll get into that. And as always, please check out that course, or if you have any questions, please drop me an email and we can set up a little lesson to talk about any of these ideas and how to incorporate them and expand them in your playing. So one more time, kind of the ideas we're working with. We have thank you, and I'll see you very soon.